good afternoon, and welcome back to Brazos Fiberworks. Today is our part 3 of our Advent pattern series. So welcome back. If you guys haven't had a chance to, go ahead and check out the first and second parts of this. The first part had blankets in there. The second part was shawls, wraps, scarves. And then part 3 today is going to be a little bit of different things. I think I have some sweaters, some socks, and some other little things. And I'm going to apologize to all you crocheters out there. I only have a few crochet patterns. I really looked in different areas to try to find some more crochet patterns for this part today, but I honestly couldn't find very many. So if you are a crocheter and you know of Advent patterns that will fit into today's patterns, please put it in the comments below so that way I can share it on part 4 that I'm going to do in a couple weeks on this series. I am going to kind of add in some accessory things and then focus on a little bit of other things that I may have come across in the past few weeks, and just kind of wrap everything up in that part 4 series with a bunch of kind of everything. So if there is a pattern that you know of that is great for Advent in knitting or crochet that I haven't talked about that you would like to mention or have me throw in that part 4 of a series, please put it in the comments below, because I'm trying to find a little bit of both crochet and knitting patterns for everybody out there, but I have to be honest, like I couldn't find as many crochet patterns for part 3 of the series today. But I want to welcome you. Welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on that button. If you are new, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. I do have regular episodes every couple weeks. We may start moving into, after the series, we may start moving into once a week for those episodes. Of course, not during Vlogmas. Vlogmas is going to be every day, but maybe in November, and then starting in January, maybe we'll have it every week. But I hope you do subscribe to the channel. And for all of your returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. If you would like to donate and help me out this channel, there is a Ko-Fi link below. But let's get into today's Advent patterns. So I do have 10 patterns. 7 of them are going to be knitting and 3 of them are going to be crochet. If you have something cozy to drink, I just have some coffee, and yeah, it smells so good. And I'm so excited. It is fall weather finally. But I won't try to ramble on too much so we get to the patterns and why you're here. But yes, I am loving this cooler weather. All right, you may see me looking down. I do have my computer and my notes here, just so like I can pull the pattern up to view what I'm talking about, and then I have my notes over here. The first pattern I want to talk about, it is a mitten pattern. So it's called the Hearten Mitts, and it's by Helen, Stewart of Curious Handmade. It is a knitting pattern. It is $8.17, and all of these patterns you can find on Ravelry. It's using fingering weight yarn, a US size 4 needle, which is a 3.5 millimeter. It uses anywhere between 332 to 434 yards, and its sizes are for child and adult. So great, because I feel like with using your Advents, you can totally get away with doing one for a child and an adult if that's what you wanted to do, even like 2 adults. So I want to read what she says in this pattern because I thought it was great. She says, "It's a cold, dreary, lonesome day can be transformed by a 10-minute call with a friend. An exhausting evening can be redeemed in the opening notes of your favorite show's theme song and a relaxing knitting project in your lap. Our frantic holiday preparations can become an exercise in mindfulness if we give ourselves the grace to be less than perfect and only focus on the traditions that bring us the most happiness. When so many things feel as if they're out of our hands, the heartening truth is that the sources of comfort and joy usually are within reach. Let's allow ourselves to hold tight to the things that hearten us and let go of things that don't. So when I read that in the pattern, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so great for especially this time of year. So this pattern of the Hearten mitts is designed to match with their friend, the Hearten cowl. So if you want to do multiple projects with your Advent minis or your scraps or whatever yarn you have laying around, you could do the mittens and you can also do the cowl. So you could be doing 2 at once, because for all the 20 gram minis, if you did both of these patterns, there's enough yarn for that. But if you don't want to do that, I believe that she also says you could use self-striping yarn, so it would look great in scraps or self-striping yarn. And then you can do the fingerless gloves without the thumbs. You can use them as wrist warmers and as arm warmers. So with this pattern, you kind of have a few things to choose from. But I thought it's a really cute pattern. It's something that looks like it would be a quick knit. And if you do just decide to do these, you will have leftovers you could put into some other kind of Advent project or whatever you would like with them. Number 2 is the Bundled Up Socks by Knitting Expat Designs. It's a $5.45 pattern. It's fingering. It is a knitting pattern. It requires a US 0, which is a 2.0 millimeter, or a US 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter. It uses 383 to 437 yards. So great for like a 1 skein of yarn or Advent minis. It's available in 7 sizes, so great range of sizes. So in the design, it looks like there is 5 rows per color in here. So it was designed, I believe, for a specific sock club pattern, but it can be easily used with your Advent minis. So if you're using your Advent minis, so depending on if you got 24 or 25, because if you look at the sock, there is about 35 different colors in here. So with those, it looks like there's 5 rows per color, and then of course like you have a color of the cuff, the heel, and the toe. So if you took all of your colors minus the colors that you're going to use for the heels, toes, and cuffs, you would probably be able to use around 7 rows per color. And I think and also, I mean, it could be bigger, smaller, depending on what size you're making. But for this particular size, I think it's like a medium that's on the picture. You could get away with using about 7 rows per color, but I mean, you could always change it however you want, depending on how long you wanted the leg also. But I think this is a really cute design. I think it would look really cute with your Advent minis or scraps. Number 3 is the Chelsea Tea, and that is by Shaina Bilow. It is perfect for Advent minis also. It's a knitting pattern. It's fingering held double. So you're using a US 7 size, that's a 4.5 millimeter, or a US 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter. It requires a yardage of either 750 to 3,900. It comes in adult extra small all the way up to a 5XL. It works from the top down, and there is minimal seaming. So she has video tutorials in there, which is great. Anytime there's ever a video tutorial, I love it, because some people write different technique patterns differently, and so it's always nice to be able to see that video tutorial so you can see how exactly they did it. There's 14 colors in there, so you could use your Advent minis, and if you're getting a 12 Advent, it's gonna be pretty similar. You're just gonna use a little few more stripes per color. But if you're using your 24 Advent minis, then it's going, like, you're just going to use almost half of the range of colors. So where you see the block of color, you would just like cut that in half. So look at the rows. I'm not sure because I don't have the pattern, so I don't know how many she says like per rows per pattern, but I would just divide that into 2, and then that way you have almost enough for the whole thing. But I love it. It's so cute. It looks like it's a great fit, and it's something that in the future I would like to knit up with some scraps or Advents. It is an $8.50 pattern if I didn't say that. All right, number 4 are the Cold Brew Socks by Allison Stuefer. So it is a knitting pattern. It's a $3 pattern using fingering weight yarn. It has 400 to 420 yards. It's using a 1.5 size needle, so a 2.5 millimeter. It comes in small, medium, and large. And it's basically just a basic vanilla patterns is what she says, with a twist. So it does look like a really cute pattern. You can see in the picture there is a bunch of different colors, and I think it's perfect for Advent knitting. You can just throw all your colors in there. Of course, with any sock Advent pattern, you're going to have to weave in those ends, and I do get that. Some people don't mind it, and so, but I have knitted some for Halloween, and I love it. It wasn't too bad. I only had a 13 color one, but you can use however many minis or less minis that you want, but I think the pattern is perfect for Advent minis. All right, number 5 is the Peace and Joy Socks by Knitten Kristen. It is a $5 pattern. It's a knitting pattern using fingering weight yarn with a US size 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter. The size ranges small, medium, and large. It's a cuff down pattern, and it's great for Advent colors. I love the chevron look of it. Of course, in this pattern, it is using a solid color in between. I have looked at all the projects. There is about 121 projects out there, and so there's a lot of people who did different things, and there is ones in there that looks like they used Advents or scraps without that main color. So if you're just wanting a pattern that's using your minis without a main skein, this one would be super cute. I love the design. They look comfy and cozy. Of course, their socks are going to be. So yeah, definitely a great pattern to consider with your Advent minis. Number 6 is the My Mini Adventure. It is by Manda's Woolen Bits. It's $6.81. It's a knitting pattern using fingering weight yarn. The size hook recommended is a US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter, and a US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter. It's using from 1,440 to 2,470 yards. It has 10 sizes available, so great size range. The pattern is about using up as many minis as you want. So she used 20 gram minis from an Advent in this one, but she's saying you can use your scraps. You can use however many scraps, whatever colors, anything you want. But definitely I love the sweater, and you're not having to use another solid color with that. You're just using your Advent minis. So that is great for those of you who don't want to have to get that extra skein. All right, for all you crocheters, the number 7 is the Crochet Sea Glass Tea by Wool and Pine. And this is an $8.75 pattern. It is crochet. It's using fingering weight yarn with a hook size 3.75 millimeter and a 5.0 millimeter hook. It has 12 size options, so another great range sweater pattern. It's crocheted from the top down, it's seamless, it's using fingering weight scraps, so perfect for Advents. This is about embracing your creativity and unleashing your unique sense of style. There is 5 video tutorials included, so again, awesome. We love video tutorials. Everything you need to know. And then in here, they have it in grams instead of yards. So if you would like to do the math, I started to do it and I was just like, whoa, that sounds like a lot. So, but if you're just gonna use your Advent minis or your scraps, you're gonna have plenty of yarn, but it does say 300 to 690 grams. So, I think this is a beautiful sweater or tee, and it's a crochet pattern, and I love it. All right, number 8 is the Janie Socks by Allison, Stitchery & Co. It is a $6.50 pattern. It's a crochet pattern using fingering weight yarn, a hook E size, which is a 3.5 millimeter. It's using 350 to 450 yards, and it ranges in size small, medium, and large. It's great for Advent minis, and it's blended with a main color for toes, heels, and cuffs, or just use your minis. She basically says, make it fun. And I think it's great. I think it's such a cute pattern. There's colors. If you go and look at the other projects that were made, there is one in there that looks like it uses Advent minis also. So super cute, great pattern for crocheters, especially for socks. All right, number 10. This is also another crochet pattern. It is the Herringbone Socks by Ashlea Schumaker. It's a crochet pattern. It's $4.99. It's using fingering weight with a size G hook of a 4.0 millimeter and a D hook, which is a 3.25 millimeter. It's using 350 to 440 yards, and it is anywhere from a women's small to a men's 13. So great sock size range. It has 174 projects in here that other people have crocheted up. And so you can go in and look at other people's designs, but I think it would be a great one to use with your Advent minis. Like I said, it was hard to find a lot of crochet patterns. And so looking at these, going in and looking at the projects, and you see that other people used minis and stuff. So there's people out there who have made these with scraps and minis, and I think it would be a perfect pattern for somebody who wants to just knit up a small project that's a crochet project with your Advent minis, your scraps, whatever you are going to use this holiday season. All right, so number 10 is going to be our final one of today's part, and it is going to be a knitting pattern. It is the My Adventure Sweater by Dragon Hoard Designs. It is a knitting pattern. It's $8. It's using a US size 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter, and a US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter. It uses between 1,412 to 3,156 yards. There is 11 sizes available, so great size range again. It's knit from the top down in raglan style, and it also uses a main color. So this one in particular, I did knit a couple years ago with my Advent minis, and I do not have the ends woven in, but you might be able not to see too many, but I really enjoyed this pattern. So I definitely wanted to suggest this pattern. So here is mine, and I used all 24 minis, and you can see the natural color was the solid color that I did use with it. And you're not holding them, double knitting them. It's actually, it's one or the other. So it is a color work pattern, but I love it. So the main color, you actually use, like you can see more of that on here. It kind of tones down the mini stripes, and then in the arms you do it the other way around, where the mini stripes are shown more than the main color. And I love this. Like you can see, I didn't weave in the ends yet, but let me see if I can stand up. This is, I haven't blocked it. It's been in my bag for a while, but it's super cute. I love it. So I would definitely recommend this pattern to anybody who's wanting to knit with all your minis for a sweater pattern. Of course, all of these patterns are great, and I know there is a lot more knitting patterns out there for advents for sweaters, but I was trying to, you know, give a little bit of knitting and as much as crochet as I could find. And like I've said, I just didn't find a whole bunch of crochet. So please, if you know of a great crochet pattern using Advent Minis, please put it below, or one that you feel like would be really great. And that way on part 4 of it, I can go over those patterns also. But yes, those are all 10 of our Advent Mini patterns for today for series 3. If you've come all the way, you've gotten here to the end of the video, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope there is a pattern that you like, that you enjoy, hopefully something that inspires you to want to create something with your Advent Minis. And like I said, if you haven't checked out part 1 and 2, I will try to put it at the end. I know if it's been a while, it'll probably get moved off of here, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to meet me back here next week for a good episode, I would appreciate that. I hope you guys have a great season. I hope you find something with your Advent patterns. If not in any part of my series, I hope you find something to knit with those Advent Minis and just enjoy them and have fun with them. If you would like to follow me on my socials, I am Brazos Fiberworks on Instagram, and I'm Brazos Fiberworks on Facebook. I do have a page there. My shop with my hand-dyed yarn, project bags, notions, all that good stuff is brazosfiberworks.com. And if you would like to get a hold of me, email me, jennifer@brazosfiberworks.com. On Ravelry, I am jnbcrafty, and we have a group on Ravelry called Brazos Fiberworks. We have some knit-alongs going on over there, so if you would like to go check those out and join us for our knit-alongs, we would enjoy that. But have a great weekend. I will see you next time. Bye!